Today, I am going to present to you one of the most stressful tournament games that I've played in quite a while. Today, we are going over SANKE CARP vs DAWNBUSTER. Yes, that DAWNBUSTER. An NU battle that was played on August 25th, 2025 as part of the GSC NU Invitational. This was a tournament where high-level NU players were invited to compete, with $100 given to the overall winner. NU was the first GSC tier I seriously played, though in recent years I've mostly stopped playing it in favour of GSC UU. SANKE CARP is one of the most active GSC UU and NU players nowadays, playing them in several tournaments a year. The specific battle in this video is Game 2 of our best of 3 set. I was the winner in Game 1, thanks to a very powerful Porygon. SANKE CARP actually used a Sea King in Game 1, a very bizarre choice in the NU metagame. Going into Game 2, I was confident. All I needed to do was win Game 2 and I would win the entire series. Little did I know how wild this Game 2 would end up being. Let's just jump into it. It's time for DAWNBUSTER vs SANKE CARP. The stage has been set. On turn number 1, SANKE CARP sends out a Persian and I send out a Primeape. Right off the bat, Primeape has a 53% chance to one-hit KO Persian with a Cross Chop. Persian can outspeed and sleep Primeape with Hypnosis, but my Primeape is the Rest Talk set, so I'm not too worried about that. Lead Persian is a giveaway that SANKE CARP is using an offensive team. It's likely to be a fast-paced Rapidash team with spikes. It's very risky for SANKE CARP to stay in. He nonetheless stays in and uses Hypnosis. Fine, I have Sleep Talk. Carp then stays in and uses Double Edge, seemingly without a care in the world, as my Primeape does reveal Rest Talk. Interestingly, his Persian revealed Leftovers. Normally with lead Hypnosis Persian, you're using Thief on it. It seems Carp just wants to stay in and deal as much damage as possible. He stays in and uses Double Edge, dealing 43% as my Primeape pulls Cross Chop and misses. I now need to pull Rest or Cross Chop, otherwise Primeape will be left in a tough spot. SANKE CARP uses Double Edge. My Primeape, as it turns out, is bad. I need to swap. I go out to my Weezing, who can be put to sleep by Hypnosis. On turn 6, Persian fires off another big Double Edge, as my Weezing retaliates with a Sludge Bomb. My Weezing is now at 50%. Persian fires off yet another Double Edge. However, just when it looks like Weezing is down for the count, I reveal Rest. I am using the Thunder plus Rest Talk Weezing set. That's why I threw it into Persian. SANKE CARP switches out, revealing a Sudowoodo. I unfortunately failed to poison it with Sludge Bomb. With my Primeape in critical condition, I swap out to Porygon, who has its leftover stolen by Thief. I use Thunder Wave, as Sudowoodo responds with Earthquake. On the next turn, turn number 11, I think I make a big mistake. A recover from my Porygon is very obvious on this turn. That is a perfect opportunity for Sudowoodo to take Porygon out with Self-Destruct. I have a Rock-type Pokemon who can swallow a Self-Destruct. Even if Sudowoodo uses Earthquake, my Rock-type is not deathly afraid of it. I should have gone out to my Rock-type. Instead, on turn 11, I use Recover and Sudowoodo destroys my Porygon. I choose to send out Primeape on the double down, hoping SANKE CARP sends out a slower Pokemon. SANKE CARP proceeds to send out a Rapidash. I have to switch out to my Dewgong. I'm expecting Dewgong to make Carp reveal a Rest plus Sleep Talk user, such as Primeape or Statler. I was also thinking of a Water type, and turns out Octillery is the switch in. Octillery resists Surf and Ice Beam, but it's slower and only 4-shots Dewgong with Hidden Power Electric. With my Primeape low, I feel like I have to stay in here. I can chip Octillery down or try freeze it. Our Octillery and Dewgong twice tried Ice Beam and Hidden Power Electric. I failed to land a freeze. On turn 16, as I use Rest, Octillery lands a critical hit Hidden Power Electric. Octillery now has a chance to KO Dewgong. My Dewgong uses Sleep Talk, pulling Ice Beam, while Carp thankfully uses Surf. He predicted me to switch out there. Thankfully I didn't. My Dewgong is at 33%. Hidden Power Electric has a 10% chance to KO Dewgong. I need to pull Rest here. Dewgong uses Sleep Talk and pulls Ice Beam, and Dewgong survives on 1%. I got some nice chip damage on Octillery. For the next several turns, Octillery and Dewgong wear each other down. Octillery is slowly worn down by Surf and Ice Beam while failing to land more critical hits. SANKE CARP seemingly refuses to use Rest with his Octillery. He wants to deal as much chip damage as possible. Does he have something who can abuse a weakened Dewgong? On turn 26, my Dewgong uses Rest, recovering its HP, only for Octillery to land another critical hit. I am back to where I was a few turns ago. If Dewgong does not pull Rest, Octillery will take it out. Dewgong uses Sleep Talk, pulling a Surf, while Octillery further weakens Dewgong. On turn 28, with an Octillery at 23%, SANKE CARP stays in, takes an Ice Beam, and finishes Dewgong off. SANKE CARP took down my Dewgong, but because he just refused to use Rest for some reason, Octillery is on death's door. In hindsight, I probably should have sent Primeape in here. I could have gotten a Rest off. Instead, I go out to my Statler. I KO Octillery on the next turn. Right now, I'm feeling alright about this game. I just need to get my Primeape back on its feet, and I feel like I can win. There is a lot up in the air though. I really do not know who SANKE CARP's last Pokemon are. Given Carp's wacky history, it could be anything. I do not have to guess who the 5th Pokemon is though. Carp responds to my Statler with his own Statler. The big Statler set is Rest plus Sleep Talk. Curse plus Light Screen is still used, but Rest plus Sleep Talk is the big thing. For both of us, it's best to just attack. Neither of us can really fight back with something else. Turns out though, we are both using Curse on our Statler, a less common sight in 2025 GSCNU. For both of us, the play is the same, just use Return and do as much damage. SANKE CARP goes first, dealing 47% with a frustration, only to be blasted by a critical hit. If I win this next speed tie, that is huge. I'm in a great spot if that happens. Unfortunately, SANKE CARP wins the second speed tie, leaving my Statler in critical condition. SANKE CARP can now bring in Rapidash and finish off my Statler. This is going to be an intense endgame. It's going to be an endgame where one big piece of luck can swing the tide of the battle. I still can't bring Primeape back. I have to reveal my last Pokemon. My last Pokemon is Graveler. Graveler is a great Pokemon to have right now. It resists the attacks of Rapidash and Persian. It also has Explosion and Stab Earthquake. My Graveler is now going to either force SANKE CARP to make a sacrifice, or take chip damage on his last Pokemon. SANKE CARP opts to sacrifice Persian. Depending on who SANKE CARP has last, I could just win the game here. Some last Pokemon scare me more than others, and Rapidash I'm still a bit worried about. SANKE CARP's final Pokemon turns out to be a Sea King. What a weird Pokemon to use in both Game 1 and 2. Sea King is ranked at 53 on the viability rankings. Nevertheless, Sea King can be an issue if I get unlucky. My Weezing and Primeape both have Thunder. Both are currently relying on Sleep Talk though, and Thunder can miss. I can't keep Graveler in here in case it has Surf. I swap out to my Weezing, only to take a critical hit Surf. I now need to rely on Sleep Talk. I'd prefer to just pull Rest on turn 36. Sea King uses Surf, and my Weezing pulls Rest from Sleep Talk. That was the best case scenario. SANKE CARP swaps out to his Rapidash, taking a Sludge Bomb on the switch. Sludge Bomb does decent damage to Rapidash, but it's faster and hits me hard with Fire Blast. In a 1v1 Rest Talk war, Rapidash has the advantage against Weezing and Primeape. I can go out to Graveler though. That forces Sea King to switch into an Earthquake. That, or he sacrifices Rapidash. Fire Blast burning my Graveler would be terrible though. On turn 38, I swap out to my Graveler, praying that I don't get burned. That is superb. Sea King takes 38% from Earthquake on the switch. If we keep trading hits like this, then I should win the game. I go out to Weezing, this time avoiding a critical hit Surf. I think SANKE CARP sees that he will lose if we keep trading hits like this. SANKE CARP needs to get some fortune. He needs to make some risky plays. As such, he Sword Stances right in my face. My Weezing pulls Rest from Sleep Talk. Fortunately, Sea King isn't even guaranteed to 3-shot Weezing with a +2 return. Unless SANKE CARP dropped agility on this Sea King, he isn't using Surf and Hidden Power Ground on the same set. Sea King needs to use Sword Stance again if it wants to 2-shot my Weezing. He could also land a critical hit, I guess. That's low odds though. Well, never mind. Weezing thankfully hits a retaliatory Thunder. That puts me in a sticky situation. I have to sack off Weezing now. I need to bring in Primeape and hopefully land Thunders or Cross Chops. Judging by the first few turns of this game though, my Primeape seems to like missing his moves. With Sea King at 37%, Cross Chop and Thunder both KO it. I go for Cross Chop because of the accuracy. Also, Rapidash will be KO'd by a critical hit Cross Chop. Rapidash is sent in, and my Primeape misses another move. Not really what I want to see now, buddy. Now, I again have to risk Graveler being burned. If it is burned, then I'm probably going to lose this game. On turn 45, I swap out to my Graveler. A smile appeared on my face as I saw my Graveler without a burn. It quickly dawns on me though, I have to risk a third burn. Sea King is at 37%. Earthquake will guarantee to knock it out. SANKE CARP just has to stay in here and use Fire Blast. My Graveler is at 57% by the way. A critical hit Fire Blast will outright KO me. Both of us begin praying. I'm praying for no burn, and SANKE CARP is praying for a burn or a critical hit. Let's see whose prayer is answered. SANKE CARP is down to his final Pokemon. The fate of this battle is going to be decided by move accuracy. My Graveler is drowned by Surf, and we cut to a 1v1. Primeape versus Sea King. Sea King is at 50%. Cross Chop and Thunder both fail to KO it. My Primeape is at 45%. Return and Surf both fail to KO me. Seeking can become faster with agility, but it needs to use a turn doing that. Let's see how it goes. Seeking barely survives Cross Chop and gets an agility off. Turn 49 is what it all comes down to. If my Primeape lands its Cross Chop, I win. If my Primeape misses its Cross Chop, then Seeking will finish me off on turn 50. Primeape got its act together on turn 48. Let us see if it keeps up the good work on turn number 49.